Welcome back to Boost Your Business English, the podcast that helps you sound as smart as you really are. I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm Chloe. Alex, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in a high-stakes meeting, you have a brilliant idea, but when you open your mouth, the only words that come out are, I agree, or that's a good idea?
Oh, absolutely. It's that horrible moment of panic. You feel your vocabulary shrinking in real time. You want to sound professional, persuasive, and insightful, but you end up sounding like you just learned English yesterday.
It's a huge confidence killer, and it's a problem that so many of our listeners face. Well, today we are going to fix that. We have prepared an arsenal for you, 100 brilliant business sentences you can use today in English.
100. Wow, okay, so this isn't just a tip. This is a complete toolkit. We're going to give our listeners the exact words they need for meetings, emails, presentations, and even tough negotiations.
That's the plan. We want to give you phrases that you can copy and paste into your professional life immediately. And make sure you listen till the end because we'll be sharing one single phrase that can completely change the dynamic of a negotiation in your favor. It's my secret weapon.
Ooh, a secret weapon. I'm already intrigued. Okay, 100 is a lot. Where do we even begin?
Let's start with the place you'll use these most often, meetings. The first impression is everything. Instead of a weak hello everyone, you can take charge by saying, all right everyone, let's kick things off. Or, good morning, thanks for joining, let's get started. It's subtle, but it establishes you as a leader.
Let's kick things off. I like that. It's got a proactive energy. So what about agreeing with someone? We all know I agree. What's the upgrade?
Let's elevate it. You can show you're on the same wavelength by saying, I'm on the same page. To add more emphasis, try, I couldn't agree more. Or to validate the person speaking, say, that's an excellent point, Maria. It shows you're not just agreeing, you're actively listening and valuing their input.
It's about building rapport, not just stating facts.
Exactly. Now for the really tricky one, disagreeing. Saying I disagree or you're wrong is like throwing a grenade into the conversation. It's too confrontational.
Right. It makes people defensive immediately.
So, soften it. First, validate their point. Then, offer your perspective. Say something like, I see your point, but have we considered this alternative? Or, I understand where you're coming from, however, I see it a bit differently. This transforms a conflict into a collaboration.
You're not rejecting their idea, you're building on it. Okay, I think it's time to put this into practice. Role play time?
Let's do it. I'll be the project manager. You're my team member. Okay, here we go. Thanks for joining, everyone. I've reviewed the timeline, and I think we should push the product launch by 3 weeks to add more features.
Okay, my turn. I understand where you're coming from, Chloe, and new features are always exciting. However, I see it a bit differently. Our main competitor is launching in 2 weeks, and if we delay, we risk losing that critical first-mover advantage in the market.
That's an excellent point, Alex. I hadn't fully factored in the competitive pressure. I couldn't agree more. We need to stick to our original deadline.
And scene. Wow, that was a total disagreement, but it felt so productive and respectful. No one got defensive, we just focused on the best outcome for the company.
That is the power of using the right language. You framed your disagreement as a shared business risk, which made it easy for me to see your logic.
This is so useful. And if you, our listener, are finding this valuable, please take 1 second and hit that subscribe or follow button on your podcast app. We deliver practical lessons like this every single week, and we don't want you to miss out on what's next.
Okay, we've just covered phrases for participating in meetings. Now for our turning point. Let's shift gears from just participating to actually taking control and managing projects. These are the phrases that make you sound like a leader.
Okay, I'm sitting up straighter. I'm ready for my promotion. What have you got?
Let's start with giving updates. Instead of a flat, here is the update, which is very passive, try a more engaging opener, like just to bring everyone up to speed, or here's a quick rundown of our progress on the campaign. It's more dynamic.
Bring you up to speed. I like that. It sounds like you're guiding people. Now, what if you're the one who is confused? It can be embarrassing to say, I don't understand.
It can be, but asking for clarification is a sign of strength, not weakness. To do it professionally, say, "Could you elaborate on that point, please?" Or, "I want to make sure I understand fully. Could you run that by me one more time?" It shows you're committed to getting it right.
That's a great technique. Okay, what about delegating tasks? Telling someone what to do can be really awkward, especially across cultures.
Absolutely. So instead of a direct order like, "do this," you empower the person. Frame it as a question that respects their expertise. For example, "David, given your experience with this client, would you be the best person to take the lead on this?" Or, "Sarah, would you be able to handle the data analysis for this report?"
You're not just giving a task, you're giving them ownership and showing trust. That's a true leadership move.
Precisely. Ready to test these out? Let's do a second role play. This time, we're on a project update call, and I'm the team lead. You're on my team.
Okay, I'm the boss. I can do this. Hi, Chloe. Thanks for hopping on the call. Just to bring you up to speed, the design team has finalized the mockups, but we've hit a small snag with the back-end integration that I'm a bit concerned about.
A snag? Could you elaborate on that for me, Alex?
Of course, the third-party API isn't responding as documented, and it's causing delays. I think we need someone to liaise directly with their technical team. Chloe, given your strong technical background, would you be able to take the lead on resolving this?
Absolutely. I'll reach out to them this afternoon and I'll report back with a solution by the end of the day.
And scene. See how smooth that was? That was a masterclass in project management communication. It was clear, respectful, and completely action-oriented.
These phrases are the essential building blocks. Once you master them, you can navigate almost any daily business interaction with total confidence.
Okay, I can feel our listeners getting more confident by the minute. But now it's time for the climax, the main event. You promised us the juicy sentences for persuasion and your secret weapon for negotiation.
I did. These are the sentences that don't just help you communicate, they help you influence outcomes. Let's start with a brilliant way to introduce your idea without shutting someone else's down. Instead of saying, "but," try saying, "building on that idea." For example, "Building on that idea, what if we also targeted a new customer segment?"
Ooh, I love that. Building on that idea. You're literally using their idea as the foundation for yours. It's incredibly collaborative.
It is. Now, when you're in a negotiation and you feel like you're stuck on opposite sides, you need to reframe the discussion. A great question is, what's our common objective here? This reminds everyone that you're working towards a shared goal, not a battle.
Right, it breaks the deadlock by finding what you both want. That's clever.
It works. But now it's time for the secret weapon. Are you ready for this, Alex?
I am on the edge of my seat. The listeners are too. Let's hear it.
Okay. So you are in a tough negotiation. The other side keeps saying no to your proposal. You've hit a wall. Instead of arguing or giving up, you pause, look at them calmly, and ask this simple question. What would it take for us to move forward with this?
Wow, that's powerful.
It's incredibly powerful because it does three things instantly. First, it stops the cycle of no and forces their brain to start thinking about yes. Second, it shifts the entire focus from problems to solutions. And third, and most importantly, it makes them tell you exactly what their conditions are. You're no longer guessing, you're getting their exact roadmap to a deal.
That's just brilliant. It's not aggressive at all, it's genuinely inquisitive, but it completely flips the power dynamic. They are now the ones who have to provide a path forward. That is an absolute game changer.
It truly is. So please try it the next time you feel stuck.
I definitely will. Chloe, this has been an incredibly valuable episode. From simple meeting phrases that build confidence to master-level negotiation tactics. We've armed our listeners with some seriously effective linguistic tools today.
That's always our goal. And remember, the point isn't to memorize 100 sentences at once. It's to identify the 5 or 6 that you need most right now, practice them, and really make them your own.
That is great advice. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, please do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And be sure to check out our other episodes on topics like acing your job interview and how to write the perfect professional email.
And before we go, we have a question for you, our fantastic listeners. Head to the comments section and tell us, which of these sentences are you most excited to try this week? We would absolutely love to hear from you.
We would. Thanks for tuning in to Boost Your Business English. I'm Alex.
And I'm Chloe. We'll talk to you next time.